Steve, do you remember back to school shopping? I was a big fan.
I sure do, and every penny helps, especially
sure does.
when this time of year, because there's a lot of money to be spent now in the early part of fall.
Absolutely. I used to have to spend my own money on shoes. That was always the big item before every school year.
Well, did you hear the thunder and lightning this afternoon?
Yeah,
it
definitely hear it here.
From all up and down the Suncoast, a big solid line developed, and we'll look at that radar in a minute, but it's a quiet night, and along the coast it wasn't that bad. As you can see on our Casey Key webcam, partly sunny skies, but look out in the distance over the Gulf. There were some storms out there, but they kind of fizzled out before the clouds reached the shoreline, so it was a beautiful sunset, and it is a very nice night with an almost full moon shining down on top of us. 81, a warm night at 11 o'clock at night, 81 degrees, dew point 75. That is humid, and wind is virtually calm, so it's a little muggy outside right now. Our high 91 this afternoon, last night's low 78, and you can see how that compares to normal for this time of year, a little bit normal, above normal on both counts. Now there are the clouds from that solid line of the sea breeze front that developed all up and down the Suncoast. We also had some strong storms offshore that washed out just before getting here. And tonight, if we look at our radar scopes, there's hardly anything to be seen anywhere across the Sunshine State up except around St. Augustine to Jacksonville. And the storms that did come up from around Fort Myers late in the afternoon really dissipated before they reached us. They could have brought us a few raindrops, but that just did not occur. Looking at the national weather scene, we have a threat of tornadoes or severe thunderstorms actually right now in northern Oklahoma and southern part of Kansas. But the big weather story is the cool air that is blowing down across the northeastern states. It's cool, like fall, with temperatures at this hour cooling off overnight to the upper 40s in some spots, the 50s and 60s in many locations. And then for tomorrow, warming back up, still a little cooler than what you can get this time of year. It can be in the 80s and 90s all across this area. So I think they're liking this little hint of fall. Now let's take a look at the tropics, and it is heating up as wind shear across the tropics has weakened in the Caribbean and Gulf, giving a better chance for things to develop. We'll look at this area in the Atlantic in a minute, but first let's focus right now on the central Caribbean with that swirl of clouds. The National Hurricane Center has given it a name. It's called Invest 90. They're investigating it. Number 90 has maximum sustained wind of 35 miles an hour. They're saying it has a 50% chance of developing in the next 2 days and a 70% chance of developing in the next 5 days. Here's a spaghetti plot model showing it skirting Central America and moving into the Yucatan Peninsula area by about Monday at 8 p.m. But now let's look at the GFS forecast model. It shows that it could actually develop into tropical storm or Hurricane Franklin over the Gulf of Campeche later on, and then washing out over northeast Mexico. Now quickly, let's go back out in the Atlantic. This has about a 50% chance of developing over the next 5 days. It is Invest 99L, 30-mile-an-hour winds, and the spaghetti plot is very interesting. If it stays over the land of the Greater Antilles, it will inhibit its development, but we're going to look very closely at this over the next few days because it does have a potential of causing problems. Here's our wind forecast for tonight and tomorrow. South wind 10 knots, seas 2 feet or less, a light chop on bay and inland waters. And it'll be mostly sunny and warm at the beach, high 92 with the water temperature of 89, UV index of 12. And here's the 7-day outlook showing that we only have a 10% chance of showers during the day tomorrow, but tomorrow night a good chance that they develop, and then a 40 to 50% chance right on Monday through Friday. But tomorrow, Sunday, is going to be a really hot day. Lots of sunshine will make it even more hot. So get to the water if you can. Adam?